This is Olu Abi and also Abid Busi. I hope you can hear me. If you cannot hear me, please let me know so that I can adjust. Thank you for joining in. Thank you so very much. I'm really grateful. I am really, really grateful. Good evening, everyone. I can see El Nino. I can see, oh, Adebowale Aderomu, you were number one. Oh, you got to get something for being number one, right? I'm writing your name down, Adebowale Aderomu. Padi mi ni ẹ o. Thank you for joining in. El Nino, you're always there, yeah. And Tenibi Ajay, you two also get something, Tenibi Ajay. It might be small though, but just take me as I am, you know. If I have more than that, I won't keep it. I will share, you know. And then thank you for joining in tonight. Let me share, and click like, subscribe, whatever. Just share. Tell people we are live. Let them join us. Let them come and see what we are doing. We are open to suggestion. We are open to correction with love, not just anyhow correction. Not the one that you will come in to the inbox and be abusing us and you're saying you're correcting us. No, it's not going to work like that. So join us. Kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's always there. I will send the link. I think it's www.youtube dot I'm sorry, www.youtube/ at Oluabi. That's the YouTube channel. Please join us. You'll be glad you did. Bolanle Tamunukumbia. Okay, you get something too. Tamunukumbia. Padimile, you know. Thank you so very much and good evening. You are not sharing now. I can't see anybody. I'm waiting for people, and we can't wait for long anyway. We are starting right now. Thank you for joining and keep inviting people. I know afterwards people go there to join and they write comments and they ask questions and stuff like that. You can ask questions and you can even add your own opinion. You know, no opinion is we accept everybody to talk, and then every opinion is respected. So you are not, so even if you are against it, it's not going to be a quarrel, it's not going to be a fight. We'll just talk about it and that is it. Thank you. So you can hear me clearly. Olushile Orishagbemi, thanks for joining in. I'm really grateful. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So we go ahead, and I said the topic for today is how do you support your spouse? Please, how do you support your spouse? You know, there are different types of support, you know, different types of support. So how do you now support your spouse? Do you support your spouse at all? This one is not about any gender. I'm talking generally. So because at times it might be the woman that is the breadwinner, and at times it might be the man that is the breadwinner. That whoever that is dropping the largest share on the table, the other opponent part, what are you doing to support the other spouse? What are you doing? Yes. Okay, Ayelabola. Yes, thank you so very much. Ayelabola, I'm waiting for you. I just saw Ayelabola on the YouTube. I can see few people also. Thank you for joining. Ayelabola, you get something also. Ayelabola. So thank you for all the time. You know, you are always there. You people, you are the one giving me the urge to go further and further and further. We have a lot of things to offer. We have a lot of things to share in common, and this is just the beginning. As I said earlier on, my name is Oluabi, and you can call me Abi Busi depending on which Facebook ID you know me from. So also, I said, how do we support our spouses? So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I'm not talking about gender right now. I'm talking about how do you support the other party, when it comes to the house and everything. Okay. So how do you do that? Now, I will first ask you, who are you? What kind of a spouse are you? You have to know yourself. You understand what I'm trying to say? You have to know yourself. You have to discover yourself. By discovering yourself, you will know your ability, your capacity, you will know what you can do. How do you know this? It depends on the kind of orientation you have. Um, did you go to school? Did you learn vocational jobs? How are you, doing for yourself before you can now say you want to do for your spouse. Thank you, Nayeju Olufumilayo Adebola Taiwo. Thank you for joining in. I'm grateful. Olajide Badebanji, thank you. I thank you, Bijoke Arinola Mujirayo Funmi. You're always there. Thank you so very much. I'm grateful. I really appreciate you people. So, how do you now support your spouse? I said first thing is to discover yourself. Who are you? What are you? You understand? If you can't give what you don't have. So you have to know yourself. Did you go to school? Did you study? Did you study? Did you learn any vocational job? How did you come about yourself? What are you doing to progress? What are you doing, for yourself that you can say, oh, if this person loses me, is going to miss me. Is there going to be a vacuum whenever there is a split or there's a divorce, or maybe you even travel? Are they going to miss you? Are they going to feel you? So they have to know, you have to know the kind of person you are. You have to know your capacity, your ability, you have to know your strength. Then before you can say you want to do one thing or the other. Okay, when I said, did you go to school? It's not everybody that goes to school. Some people, they went to maybe elementary and high school and they stopped. They went and learned vocational jobs and one thing or the other. At least you were able to progress. You were able to get something doing. You understand? You cannot be a liability unto any man, because if you're a liability, that means you are not supporting your spouse. You are not going to support. How are you going to support your spouse? I know is everything is not about money. You understand? And everything is not about physical things. And there are some other things that are not physical. So the supports are in different categories. You know, understand me? So when I said, what about you? You have to work on yourself first. Okay, I'm learning vocational job, or I decided to learn vocational job. Maybe job is not coming on time, so I decided to go and learn something so that I'll be able to be useful for myself, because you have to be useful for yourself before you can be useful for other people. So you have to stand on your 2 feet first. I know with the situation of the country, with the situation of everything around the world, it's not only limited to Nigeria, it's all over the world. So, but you still have to do something, no matter what. You got out of university, you graduated, no job, nothing. But at least you have to work on yourself. That's why I said, learn vocational job. You can do anything. There are so many things people are doing nowadays. You can see people in the entertainment world, they are doing their job. You can see people, learning trade, one thing or the other. But whatever trade or whatever that thing you are doing, you have to make sure you are master of it. You don't just learn halfway and say, oh, I've done, Nimi, I just want to go ahead like that. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to make sure you are good on whatever you are doing. And that is it. When you are doing it, then you'll be able to know that you are good in whatever you are doing. Like me, I'll cite an example where I never went to school, where I will say I never went to school, because compared with the way people are going this way, PhD, whatever, I had an NCE, fine. But when I finished, I went and learned how to make dresses. I can braid hair, but I learned that one on my own. You understand what I'm trying to say? And then I try to like improve myself in whatever I have learned, right? When I got here, when I got to the US, I did some professional courses, few things, just to brush up myself because I had a lot on my table, but I didn't let that one disturb me. I started somewhere and I did something, no matter how small. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I cannot say I'm a non-entity. I still know something. So I do sewing, I do sew clothes, I do make hair for my children. They don't, many a times they don't go outside to make hair because when you think about how much you are going to spend on the hair, you have to sit tight and see. And I have a lot of girls as my children. So, and I want them to be looking beautiful all the time. So I have to think twice and see what I can do, to be able to provide for them, we are supposed to be doing, to um to help our spouses, and that is part of it. I just jumped into that one, just to cite an example of myself. You have to practice what you're saying. So, and that is it. If I've not been practicing it, I've been practicing it for like close to 27, 28 years now. So I'm not new in it. So I know what I'm talking about. So when you work on yourself, you have vocational job, you have trade, you do this, maybe you can be working in the office, and then you do a side job or whatever. Okay. Now, if you do that, do you now keep everything to yourself or you help at home? Some people, they work, they have the money, they are doing some jobs, they are doing some businesses, but they still wait for their husband to do practically everything. They still wait for their wives to do practically everything. They don't support. You understand? You have to support your spouse. If it is too overwhelming for one person, there will be issues, there will be problems. One day there will be issue, the woman or the man can just say, well, you know what? Since you are not useful, I'm not gaining anything from this relationship. Better still, I can stay on my own and still be fine. So I don't need you. And that is one of the things that causes divorce and separation. And before you know it, the other party will start nagging. You will start having problems. You have having problems with each other. You will talk, the person will take offense in this. You sneeze, the person will pick an offense in it. You do this, the person will pick an offense in it. And that is it. When you live within your means, living within your means is another way of supporting your spouse. Ìkọjá ààyè kò dára rárá. Don't pass your boundary. You know your capacity, you know what you have. Okay, some people, you have 1,000. Live within that 1,000. Don't go and borrow 2,000, 3,000 to join that 1,000 and live above your means. At the end of the day, there will be issues. You have problems because they will be pulling you here and there. They want their money back and you can't provide it. Are you a supportive wife? Are you a supportive husband? In that way, no, you are not. That's why I said it's not about you giving. You understand? It's about you using this thing. God has given us that strength. Everybody has it. You have to develop it yourself. Everybody has it. You have to develop it yourself. If you know this is what is on ground, plan within that means. Don't go beyond and above. At the end of the day, you become a debtor, you become a nuisance. People that are not supposed to be talking to you anyhow, they talk to you anyhow. Because o ti kọjá àyè ẹ. As my people will say, they will say, ṣe bó o ti mọ ẹlẹ́wà àṣàpọ́n. It's not only ẹlẹ́wà àṣàpọ́n, it's supposed to be for all of us. You have to do it within your means, within your capacity, within your reach. Don't overdo it. Overdoing things is just àṣejù. When you overdo things, it backfires. It affects your relationship, it affects your marriage. Shey the husband that has gone to work, or the wife that has gone to work, that is coming with stress will now get to the house and meet people pulling you, dragging you, making trouble. I'm going to collect my money today, this and that. You know, people that are not supposed to look up to your husband's face or your wife's face, they will now be the one to be talking anyhow, talking rubbish to them because you have kọjá here, you have passed your boundary, you have gone above what you're supposed to do. And that is it. That's a very big problem. If you have been doing it before, now is the time. Adjust. Because all these children are watching. We are mirrors for them. We are mirrors for them, right? We are mirrors for them. I know this thing touches women more than men because in Africa, we know men are supposed to be providing for the family. But in some cases, when it is not like that, even if you see your spouse striving, trying, right? You to do your best. Do your best. As I used to say, I'll say, I will try my best because I don't want it. If I don't have anybody to or if I don't have, I don't owe anybody any explanation. I still owe my children some explanations because in future when they will ask me that, okay, when daddy could not provide this, what were you doing to support? Were you able to help? What were the things you did to help? You will be able to talk and say, oh, I did this, I did that. Even the children won't even have to ask you because they would have been seeing that, okay, as daddy is doing it this way, mommy too is doing it this way. Everybody is providing, everybody is bringing money to the table, everybody is bringing things to the table, that is it. Live within your means. That's number one. Oh, you have to live within your means. Don't go above what you have. Some people, party tí ò kàn wọ́n, they want to go. Afẹ́fẹ́ rí tìá ṣe carry me. I want everybody to see. That is it. No, no. You are living your life. You are not living your life for other people. What they do is none of your business. If they have the capacity, okay, let me cite an example. When I had my first child, I wanted to, okay, before the marriage, I bought white attire like Iro and Buba that I was going to wear for the engagement. So people were now saying, oh no, that most people that comes for engagement they wear white. So you will not be different between strangers, I mean visitors that have come for the party and you that you were doing the marriage. That look for something else. So we now went and bought something else. But the white, I made it and I kept it at home. So when I had my first child, I used the white in the morning, for naming ceremony when they will come and give names to the baby. So in the afternoon time, I changed to the one I used for my engagement. But before then, my sister-in-law asked me and said, "Ah, Ashowo, what are you going to wear on that day?" And I said, "Well, to the glory of God, I have to." I told her the one I used for my engagement, I'll wear it later in the day, but I'll wear white. That white I bought previously, I will wear that one in the morning. She now said, oh, that she was going to give me some clothing, like 2 or 3 that I was supposed to be changing, Alakobi first child, you were supposed to showcase that they are taking care of you and stuff like that. I smiled, I was so happy. So she told me, you remember that clothes? She was telling me those clothes. I said, oh, okay, I remember. So I will give you that one. You will wear it. After about 3 hours, you will change and wear another one. So I now asked her, I said, Auntie, are you going to give me those clothes or you're just going to borrow me? She said, oh, I'm lending you those clothes. After the party, you will wash it and send it back to me. I laughed. I said, Auntie, I'm not used to borrowing clothes. I would rather wear what I had. That I had white and I have the other one I used for my engagement. He said, hey, you have worn that one before. People have seen it on you. I said, but at least it's mine. Tomorrow they will still see it on me. But if you give me your clothes and I wear it, tomorrow they will not see it on me. Or maybe we go to a party and you now wear the clothes. They will now see that, oh, let's say, Yala Sholele. I don't do it. I wasn't brought up that way. And see, I know she was angry, but later on she called me and said she was initially angry, but later on she thought about it and said it was a wise thing for me to do, because most of the people from the family that were coming for the wedding, I mean for the naming ceremony, had seen her with those clothes. Can you see? So, and that was it. I said no, I don't want to, and that was it. Ìtẹ́lọ́rùn, contentment, whatever you have, plan within your means, don't go above. My dear brother, Mount Zion, yes sir, it is good to pray. Yes, you said somebody said foundation is the starting point of anything. Many get married just because they like the idea of marriage, which is true. Today we have headmaster wives, no submissions. Yes. We also have Mike Tyson kind of husbands. Yes. They force submission. Yeah. That is it. Two wrongs can never make a right. And that is it. That is it. Okay. Planning the marriage. That's another topic for another day. Right? I had it on mind. But I will just quickly delve into that. Right? As you are cutting yourself, boyfriend and girlfriend in a relationship, right? You know your means, you know your capacity, you know what you have, you know what you don't have. Don't promise what you cannot do. Instead, don't even make promises. Be open to each other. This is what I have. This is how far I can go. If the person is your own, they will stay. If the person is not your own, let the person go. All that glitters is not gold. Don't borrow to oppress. I want my future husband to see that I have arrived. I want my future wife to see that I am living good. And when you now get married, reality now dawn on you, problem will come. You don't have to do that. You don't have to. Live within your means. Be open to each other. When you start a relationship on that basis, it's going to crash. Sooner, papa, very soon, it's going to crash, not later. So don't promise what you cannot do, and don't say what you don't have. Don't borrow to shine. They say borrow, borrow, make me shine. No. If you are wearing only one cloth, let the person see that I have only one. Take me like that. If you cannot, the door is open. He who the Lord has ordained will come and stay. And that is it. That is very, very important. That's another topic for another day. We are still coming back to that anyway. I said it. So I said, live within your means. If you know you have already discovered yourself, number one, you have already worked on yourself by, having one job or the other. Because there's no job outside, we know. But be creative. Be creative. Think. This thing God has given us, He knows our capacity, He knows our strength. So no matter what, you will be able to do something. A teacher was talking to me some time ago and said when she thought about things as they are, she thought about selling crayfish. I thought about it, I said crayfish, crayfish. To you and I, you might say, teacher don't take crayfish. Yes, teacher can take crayfish. Anybody can do that. Because we thought all those things are for market women. No, market women too are human beings. If you see the children those market women are raising, doctors, lawyers, we see them. Some of them will finish their NYSC and go into the market to go and salute their parents, their mothers, their fathers. If you see all those butchers, all those in their battle, all those men selling meat, if you see their children, the children they are producing, you will open your mouth. Because they didn't want their children to live that kind of a life. They are giving them better life. So that is it. You must be able to provide. You must be able to bring something to the table Nobody is useless unless you want to be useless on your own. Even people that have disabilities, they are striving. They are really striving to do something. How much more you that you are okay? Nothing is wrong with you. You can't just be lazy. So you have to support your spouse, irrespective of your gender, man or woman. You have to support your wife, your spouse. That is it. And I said, you have to manage again. Manage. The management is just like living within your means. When you know that, okay, today my husband is able to provide 1,000 naira, right? Let me manage. On the days when he can give me 2,000. He can give me 3,000. And that is why whenever he gives you big money, don't misuse. Don't misuse. Spend wisely. Look in the house and think about what you don't have and buy. If your husband give you 5,000 naira, say egba kefi sebe, you know you have palm oil or vegetable oil. You know you have pepper in the freezer. You know you only have to buy meat. Other things are in the house. Buy the meat. You don't have to buy 5,000 naira worth of meat. You can buy 2,500 naira worth of meat or fish or whatever you want to buy. Then look into the house again and see and say, okay, let me buy boya spaghetti too. Let me just keep. In case on the day there's nothing. Let me buy just 2 tin tomatoes and keep. Grinded pepper, let me keep. There is onion. In case if things go round and there's no money, it do happen no matter how rich you are. There are sometimes it might be that maybe you didn't remember to buy. Maybe you have the money, but you didn't remember to buy. That's another thing. Or it might be that maybe like during the time of the votes, when they were choosing the presidential candidate, there was no marketplace that was opened. Everybody was home. So things that you don't have, you have to manage unless you go to the store nearby. So things can happen. Curfew can happen. Things can happen. They can say, oh, no going out. You can market places closed. How do you cope? And that is when you plan manage your spendings. When you know that when he gave me. I look into the house. It's not that when he gives you now say, yeah, Kemi, that party that you said they invited you, I would like to follow you. You are a friend to an invitee. You were not invited though. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi. Party that does not concern you, you will go and buy clothes and go. Shey when the children want to go to school or they want to eat, aṣọ party, is it that clothes that you buy there, that the ones you bought yesterday or that time, is it the one you are going to give the children to eat? Or when suddenly something happens, maybe your spouse is not working, something happens, maybe he lost his job or he's on one contract waiting to be called for a contract. So how do you do it? What do you eat? How do you take care of the children? How do you take care of the home? Then you will now say, had I know, like the 40,000 he gave me, I should have bought this, I should have bought that, I should have done this, I should have done that. No, it's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that. Yes, my dear sister said transparency is important in marriage, and that is it. If you know how much your husband earns, you won't put your children in schools where the bills are exorbitant. God bless you. That's another way. That's another way. When you know that your husband is earning 50,000, you go and put your children in school of 40,000, 30,000. So your husband 1 month salary cannot pay for 2 children, cannot pay for 3 children. How much are you earning? That is it. But some wives too, even if your husband show them pay stub and show them that this is how much I make, if the husband like, let him drop everything on the table and say, okay, Yawomi, this is how much I made, I'm dropping everything. The wife will still make trouble and still ask for more. Do you want him to go and steal? And that is how you come in. Ó ní ojú ti ara ilé mi lánàá, ojú ò tì mí. Ẹ ṣàìmọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin méjèèjì lójú tì. That, if you see, my husband was put to shame yesterday. You should be ashamed of yourself for saying that. Because you are one. You are no more two. You are one. So whatever makes shame to come to your husband has come to your or has come to you also. So if you know that your husband's salary is this, you sit down round the table and discuss. If it means to argue about it, argue. Then come to a conclusion. Be wise. Be wise. Most times, all these men, they depend on us. They are just using some strong head at times. They depend on us to make these decisions, and they know we are going to make the best decision. But if you are the one that don't make good decisions, it's going to fall back on you tomorrow. There's going to be crisis every now and then. There's going to be issues every now and then. On many occasions, I will buy uniform, I will buy this, I will buy that. I will ask for the money. If he gives me, fine. If he doesn't give me, these children belong to both of us. Fine. At times I might be mad, I might be angry. But I said you should give me this. You have said, you can say, okay, we are splitting it into two. Sheba Jola want money. These children belong to both of us. At times I say, okay, when I have, I'll give you. And that is it. But if he does not drop, are you dropping? Are you helpful? Or abaninawo ni, you just want to spend. You don't care how the money comes. You don't care to plan for tomorrow. That is when you will be calling and planning. You have to plan your time around your home, and you have to plan your money around everything you have. When you plan your money, that is when you will say, my husband, my wife, okay, now that we have this 50,000, don't you think we should go and do a job? When we get a job, maybe we should go and buy land. Maybe we should go and do this. Maybe we should go and do that. That way, even though you cannot give too much money, you understand, but you can give this, you can give sense, you can give advice. Your husband will see to it and take heed on it, and then you people will act on it, and the next thing, the future is getting better for both of you. But when you put so much stress, hey, do this, do that, hey, do this, there will be crisis. There will be crisis, and a lot is going on. The stress on the street, on the road, the stress at work, now coming back home to meet another stress. And that's why you see some men, especially, instead of them to go home, they will go and go to beer parlor and go and stay there because they don't want to face trouble at all. And then wahala will start gradually. Before you know it, the man will stop coming home, or will be coming home later in the night. That is it. If you are the kind of a wife that the husband helps in everything. I have here in America, I have some friends that they didn't work for years. Their husband were the one paying bills, every bill, up to phone bills. The husband was the one giving money for food. The husband was the one paying school fees for the children and everything. You know what the wife was saying? She said, Ore, even though if I cannot put money on the table, I have to be helpful. These children will go to school. She will be the one to transport them in the morning. She will wake up very early in the morning, make food for them, make food for the husband. She made the house so peaceful for the man. She will take children to school, go and bring them. They have games, they have sports, they have after school, I mean, every activities they are doing. She will be the one taking them here and there. And then she was still doing some petty things. She knows how to bake. She knows how to make dresses. And she can make hair for her children. She still be helpful. This is a graduate, oh. But because she had to stay home with the children, she was not useless. She was helpful. She was doing this and doing that. Because if she had to rely on the husband to bring owo irun for the children, bring money for hairdresser, she was able to fill in that way. She was cooking in the house. She was not buying food to go and say, let's go and eat out. Let's go and eat. No, she will cook, make food for the children, make the house very neat and clean. The husband will come back and meet a clean, nice house, smelling good. That is it. She will take the children to school, bring them back. They don't have to pay for school bus. She will take them through homework. They don't have to employ lesson teachers. She is still helpful. But some women, maybe they will tie up her in the morning from one room to the other. When there is trouble, they will go and call them. Yalagbaja Wambe, she was there when they were fighting. Go and ask her because she was home. Are you that kind of spouse? What are you doing to support your spouse? Is your spouse the kind of person that are doing maybe like how do I call it? Maybe like let me say maybe your husband is a pastor or a public figure or anything. What are you doing to support? If he has money, he has everything, he has been giving you everything. What are you doing to support? Are you supporting morally? Are you supporting spiritually, praying for him? Are you supporting him with the words of your mouth, or you are casting him down with the words of your mouth? Supports are in various ways. So what kind of support are you rendering to your husband? What kind of your support are you rendering to your wife? Some people, maybe because their wife is the breadwinner, there will be trouble. They will now be contesting against each other. I've had a case where the man will tell the wife that sori owo to lo ní, that money that you said you have, I know you are using my talent. I know you are using me. Instead of you to take it that way and see how you two can improve on yourself and get better and be able to bring something to the table, you will now see your wife as your enemy because she's the breadwinner. God that made it that way knows what he's doing. As I said, he knows our capacity, he knows our strength. You see someone, they'll be the one eh, staying home. I've had a case where the wife will go to the market, coming, we not say them say we were there together. She went to the market, bought chicken, momo, everything. She got home, cooked. The husband was pressing remote, somebody that did not go out since morning. The wife went out with the son, dropped him at school, picked him up on her way back home. The husband was home. When she got home, the man was complaining. See the time you are coming in. Don't you know how we eat? What sort of nonsense is that? The following day, we got back home. The chicken was gone. The man said, ìgbà tẹ́bí pa mí láàárọ̀, did you cook when you were going? The lady said, I woke up late and you knew. Maybe there was rice, there was this, you should have cooked something now. He said, can you imagine? I should cook. I should cook. Wàá wá gbẹ́nu ẹ gbọ̀ngbọ̀n yẹn, wàá máa jẹ. That you will now come back and be eating the food. Me, man, cooking for you. Yeah, what stops you from cooking? You are not working, you are home. This woman is not asking you to say, no, go and clean, go and do this, go and no, use this thing. You don't have to wait. In every way you can help. So far, she's not ordering you around. She's not saying, oh yeah, go and wash my pants, go and no. Use this thing and do some things. Be helpful. Be sensible enough to help. If it's only to cook the rice and wait for her, if it's only to clean, just to sweep, you have done something. If it's only to look for one thing or the other and say, oh, okay, since she's not home, let me go and cut job. Maybe I should do labor work 2 hours, 3 hours, even if it is 5 kobo. I'll be able to drop something else. You will see that me too, I'm trying. It is what you have on your hands that God will bless. If you don't have, if you are not doing anything, what do you want God to bless? What? What do you want God to help, to bless, to do, to bless? Yeah. Some husband washes for their wives. Fine, fine. Yes. At times, both husband and wife are the one working. But you come back home, both of you are tired. If you see the wife trying to cook, you to help the children with the homework. If the wife finish cooking, you eat, both of you ate together. You can take the children to the bathroom, bathe them, let the wife clean the kitchen. That way, she will not be too stressed. You will see that by the time you are ready to sleep at 9, she is already ready to sleep too. Because by the time she's done with the kitchen, cooking, feeding the children, bathing, doing everything, she will still go and arrange and prepare for tomorrow. The children will go to school, uniform. They press the uniform, iron the uniforms for them. Iron the uniforms for them. Huh? That is it. You don't have to wait until you are being told. You don't have to wait until there's trouble, until there's problem, until you turn into a fight or a royal rumble before you say you want to be helpful. No, no. That is it. Okay. Now, always have a plan B. That is how to help your spouse. Yes, have a plan B. Have a plan. Okay, my husband is working. I am working. If my husband is thinking this way, let me too think this way. In case if anything arises tomorrow, we have seen so many instances when the breadwinner loses his or her job suddenly. So what do you do? Both of you will now sit down and be looking at each other. No, I will cite two examples. I've cited one before, and I will cite it again. When I was in Lagos, there was this woman, the husband was abroad. So I think it was in one of the European countries. This woman had a degree, but the husband said she should not work. They were waiting for the fruit of the womb. And when men travels abroad, they were only coming maybe once or twice a year. So it might be a bit challenging for the wife to get pregnant. So the husband said the woman should stay home so that she will be relaxing. I'll be sending you money. And the man was doing it. She had a 3-bedroom house, big house to herself. So the husband pops in anytime he wants to come to Nigeria. So one day she just came to our house and said, ah, Mommy Debbie, I'm selling Ogi. Eh? Ogi. Hmm? I looked at her. This woman was a Yoruba lady, but she understands Hausa very well because she lived in the north. So I think she schooled there or something. So she was able to speak Hausa, and we had Hausas in the house. So she will make Ogi. She was the one that showed me Kunu. So she will make Ogi, put ginger in the Ogi, put what is it called? Clove in the Ogi, yellow Ogi, white Ogi, millet. She will carry it with buckets and she will come to our house and sell. Once she enter the compound, she will go out with the empty buckets. So the husband knew those Hausa people. So she now told them and said, don't let them know that I sell Ogi. So I think one day the husband came unannounced. By the time the husband got home, she had already had a child there. So she went to pick her daughter from school. She was riding a Sienna then, I think. So the husband went home and met the ogi, the corn soaked in water. Is there a party? What is going on? Why do we have so much, ogi like that? Corn, millet, yellow corn, white corn in different big, big bowls. She saw, he saw nylon, like a packaged nylon, where the woman was putting it. Could it be that my wife is selling? Possible. It's not possible. Yawara alone, when the husband is abroad. What is she lacking? Eh? So by the time this woman came back and met the husband and the brother-in-law and the person that brought the husband, about three of them, hmm, she had to plead and plead. The man poured everything away with anger. What sort of nonsense is that? I said no work. Even if you have to work, you can look for office job. You can do this. You can do that. The husband was furious. He was angry. So we didn't know anything. We were expecting her, as usual, that because she wasn't coming to our house every day. She comes twice a week. So we knew our days, every Tuesday and every Friday. So if you want to buy ogi, we wait for her on Tuesday, then on Friday. So this Tuesday, she didn't come. This Friday, she didn't come. What's going on? For like 2 months. So when the husband left, she came to us again and told us that we should not be angry, that her husband was around. She did tell us that the husband did support her business, that the husband was around, so she was trying to give her husband attention. So the husband has gone back, that she was going to start with you next week, Tuesday and Thursday and Friday is our day. And we said, okay, no problem. We never knew anything until later. So she was still selling this ogi and everything. I think it was that Obasanjo time, I don't know, when they banned Tokumbo vehicles, all the containers and everything. So whenever the man was coming in, the man can come in with like 3, 4 containers. He will clear everything, collect his money, sell whatever he has to sell. Only she Tokumbo, stuff like that, clothing, cars, AC, a lot of things we were buying there, DVD, players, everything. This man had 3 containers that were seized at the same time. He got home, nothing again. He can't go back to where he was coming from because so many debts on him. How was he going to do it? Meanwhile, their wife had already had a second child. Then, so when he came, the wife now called and said, see the Ogio, I'm still doing it. And I have to continue doing it. Because as things are now, how are the children going to be fed? How are we going to pay house rent? How are we going to do things? You know what the husband did? He said, okay, I don't mind now. There's nothing I can do. They have to start yogi. The man had a car. The woman had a car. They sold one car and they depended on one car. So in the money like that, they now put so much quantity of ogi in the car, big, big bowls. So they were now selling bigger containers. They now went and did label. You understand? And put on the. So if you want ginger ogi yellow, ginger ogi white, ginger, plain white, plain yellow, these different varieties. The husband will drive. So you will go to them and buy. She was not coming into the compound anymore. She would just stand at the gate and call, Ogiti Deo. So because we were expecting her, we would have been at alert. So everybody would just come down and buy whatever we had to buy. She wasn't wasting time with us anymore, that she would stay and be chatting with us. No, business, strictly business. Before you know it, they finished their house they were building, and they moved. The husband spent 1 year and 7 months in Nigeria before he could go back. But before he could leave Nigeria, they had already moved into their own house. Things have changed for better. What if the whole wife had been the one stretching leg, putting cutters, doing gang gang gang, coming one low yibu? They would have suffered and they might not even come up again. That is one example. You have to be up and doing no matter what. Aduro wo la wa see you. You don't just sit down and be eating. Eating for what? Eh? You have to provide, you have to produce something. Let's see what you can do. You are lucrative. God has deposited one gift or the other in everybody. All you need to do is to find what gift and start doing it. Start doing it. When you get your money, don't say, oh, no, no. You have to be very industrious. Lay your hands in 1, 2, 3 things to be doing. We have that strength. We can do it. I have seen somebody on a wheelchair. The guy got me on a, was it? I don't know where I met him. He was on a wheelchair. When he told me what he had come to do in US, he came to do sports. He was on a wheelchair. From Nigeria, he was representing Nigeria. Yes, I was just looking at him. He said, Shaky, do you want me to sit down on the wheelchair and be begging money on the street? No, no. I sat down, I thought about myself, I saw what I could do, that it's only legs I don't have, I have hands. So she was running race, she was playing handball. I mean, he was playing handball and he was running race. He came to represent Nigeria. At least the first time he came, the first time I saw him, he came, he said he just finished their tournament and whenever he was going back. When he came the second time again, because I remember I think it was me and my husband that met him. So he collected our number. He was calling us. If somebody on a wheelchair can be thinking upright, can be thinking like that, how much more we? Can't we think? We have to think. We have to think. We have to make sure we are doing something. Don't wait until everything is set, they put on the table for you. You have to. You have to. Nobody is useless unless you want to be useless by yourself. That is it. That is it. God will help us. Please think about it. Think about what you can do. Think about what you can put to the table. Think about how you can help. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. If it requires you borrowing money, like something small, start something, pray, and God will help you. It is what you have on your hands that God will bless. You can't just be sleeping down and sleeping on the bed and say, oh Lord, bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me. Lórí ìdùbúlẹ̀. No, it doesn't work that way. We have to be up and doing. Be ready to stand in for your spouse, no matter what. Be ready to stand in. During COVID time, I went to the doctor for a checkup. So the doctor was a Chinese man, and he was asking me, how are you preparing for this um, COVID coming, this pandemic? I said, it's not going to reach us in Jesus' name. No, it's not. He smiled. He said, my dear, go and prepare because it's going to reach everywhere in this world. If America don't take time because they are not taking it as a big deal, it's going to pounce on them real big. I got scared. I got home, I was telling my husband, I said, we rebuilt, we renounced, we were praying, casting and binding. It's good. It's good. That is the spiritual aspect of it. But what were the preparations we made? I went to the market. I was buying this, buying that, keeping in the house. I called people at home. I said, buy dry food. I know there's no light. Buy beans, buy rice, buy dried pepper, grind it, buy tin tomato, buy dry fish, very dry fish, buy tinko, that could that dry meat that we used to buy. I said buy them, keep them in the house. Go to the back of your house, do some vegetables planting and stuff like that. When it comes to the worst, you will still see something to give to your children to eat. And I was telling my husband, I'm not saying you should not this thing, let's just keep some amount of money because we don't know what is going to happen. Maybe we're not going to go out of the house. And lo and behold, we were in for like 3 months. 3 months we were in. If not for those preparations, if I was waiting that until you give me money, until we do this, until you do that, because by the time they put us on lockdown, the market was almost empty. The market was all they just announced the lockdown. It was a Saturday. They said starting from Monday there'll be a lockdown. So there was not enough time to plan. There was not enough time to run helter skelter anymore. If not that we had done that earlier. We stayed home for 3 months before we started going out. You have to be helpful. You have to be helpful. Prayer is one thing. That is the spiritual aspect of it. Because you have to pray for your family also. As a man, as a woman, pray. A lot of things is happening outside. You have to pray. Yes, you're a Muslim, you're a Christian. It doesn't matter. Pray. Pray to God for safety. Pray for direction. So that you can know what you can lay your hands on. And God will make it to prosper. Don't wait for your husband before you do this, before you do that. Don't wait for your wife. Some men, if their wife travel just one day, when they boil water, it will burn. They cannot boil ordinary rice. They cannot boil ordinary rice. If anything happens suddenly, because if you put too much pressure on the woman, if she collapse, or if she dies, or if she gets sick, so how are you going to do it? You have to be helpful no matter what. You have to be helpful. Yeah, prepare your things down. Some in the morning when their children are going to school, that is when they will remember. Bataeda, where is your school bag? Where is your uniform? This one is dirty. Where is the other one, sef? No plans, nothing. You have to plan in the evening what they are going to wear tomorrow. At times, you can plan on Sunday, especially when children are having different kind of uniforms. They have sportswear, they have what they call girls gift, boys brigade, this and that. You can plan those things down. Okay, on Monday is going to wear this and that, on Tuesday is going to wear this and that. You can, not in the morning when the school children are now, they'll say, ah, oh, oh God, I forgot, I didn't bring out the uniform. Some are even fond of stupid act of, omo, go and buy me pepper. When the child comes, they'll say, no salt, go back again and buy salt. When that one comes, they say, oh God, buy water, go and buy water. The child will be exhausted sef. At times the children will be hiding. Say, mommy can send you on errand for Africa. If it requires you writing down what you need, write it down. Write it down. Write it down. If we seek God's face and God says this is your wife, this is your husband, right? If you don't put some things in proper plan, you will still be having trouble. Then you'll be asking, but God said this is my wife, but God said this is my husband. There is spiritual, there is physical. That is it. We have to plan. We have to plan. We have to plan. We have to be supportive. We have to be supportive. And then, at times, when we listen to too many teachers, what works for A might not work for B. What works for your parents might not work for you. You have to sit down. It's between you and your husband. It's between you and your wife, not between you and those ones. Let them do their own home the way they want to do it. You do your own home the way you want to do it. It depends on you. It depends on you. Don't overdo things. Don't stress your husband. Don't stress your wife. Don't live above your means. Don't live above your capacity. Live within your means. That is it. Live within your means. No man wants a liability wife. Yes, no man wants a liability wife. No man. No woman even wants an idle man. No woman wants an idle man. No woman wants a senseless man. It takes two to tango. It's not only one-sided. So when you are providing and producing here, I will be providing and producing there. We bring it together. And that's what makes it whole. I used to say it, no matter how rich I am, if my own husband money is not in it, it's not complete. Oh. Yes, you have to be responsible, even if you are not the breadwinner. Someone once told me that her mom was the breadwinner. They never knew. But the mom will give money to the father and say, the father should give the children. So anytime they ask for school fees, their father was the one giving. So one day, he now noticed, say, when the father now said, bah, this is your school fees. He said, he just said it openly. He said, oh, do you think we don't know that mommy is the one giving you the money, you that don't have the money? So the kind of beating he received that day, he had never seen it before. Both man and the wife, they beat him, eh? They beat him, eh? Because they never wanted the children to see that one person was having, another person was not having. That is it. So you have to be helpful. You have to support your spouse in every area. As I said, spiritually, physically, in monetary, everything, every way. Support your spouse. Support your spouse. Yes. Learn how to work with your hands. Don't wait for, and never compare home with your friend's home. Yes, Tenibiaje. Comparison, that's bad. That's even worse. One thing we don't understand is you and your spouse, you have different orientations, different backgrounds. Children born in the same house have different characters. How much more? Twins that were born the same day, they have different characters. How much more two adults coming together to live under the same roof? You will now be comparing your home with another, excuse me, with another two adults from two different backgrounds. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. That's what is affecting a lot of people. And jealousy, trying to compare and jealous. They have it. You know how many months? Okay, how many years they've been working? You want to compare yourself. You that are just waking up today. Maybe you have just spent 3 years in your husband's house. It doesn't matter your age. Some people have late marriages, some have early marriages. And you want to compare your home with somebody that has spent 27 years in her own home. It doesn't work that way. If you want to attain that age, attain that level, you work on your own. You work on your own. You prepare for the future. You work together with your spouse. That is it. Yorùbá ní àjèjì ọwọ́ kan gbẹ́rù dórí. Fọ̀tún wẹ òsì, fòsì wẹ ọ̀tún, lọ́wọ́ fi ń mọ́. The two hands have to wash each other. It's not only one-sided. It's not on one side. It's not on one man. No. It's not on the woman alone. No. If your husband is the one, I've seen a man that was not working. The wife tried to make business for the man. The man will still eat the money. Yes, unko. The man will see it's the money. So we don't have to compare houses. So you don't have to. You don't have to compare houses, and don't wait for your husband before you do things. You can do a lot of things while your husband is not ready or doesn't have it financially or so. You can do it to cover your shame. Àìmọye, so many times you will go to the school and pay school fees. Eh? That is it. And whatever your spouse does, appreciate each other. That's another thing. Appreciation goes a long way. It helps. It helps. That's a help for your spouse too. Yes, àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ní they are his children. Yes, they are his children. We have a lot of stupid fathers. We have a lot of fathers that walked away. We have a lot of mothers that drop children and run away. We have a lot of them. So if your wife or your husband is striving, doing this, appreciate them. Appreciate them. Eh? 3 children in the same school fees is above this and that. And the man is able to drop 1 kobo now. Tomorrow he drops another kobo. Oṣé ọkọ mi, thank you so much. Ọlọ́run á bùkún ẹ. Even if it is 2 naira, me too, I will add. I have a woman here selling food. The husband doesn't want her to sell food though. So she should stay with the children. When the son entered university, she was able to give $8,000 cash. Said the husband was screaming. Eh? Huh? Where did you see it? She went and showed the husband where she was keeping the money in the house. Since then, the man now said, you know what? I'll be taking you to the market every 2 weeks. So she will go and buy. She bakes. She stopped baking. So she's now doing cooking, big cooking. And then she's selling clothes for people that want to get married or do occasions. Here. The husband is now supporting, and now the children are supporting. Anytime I go there to pick food or to do something, the children, the sons, they are boys or big boys. 28 then, 27, 28. They will come out and greet you. Good evening, ma. They will prostrate for you, carry food. You will see them cleaning where their mother has cooked. Now tell me, how will their future wives not enjoy them? Because the way they were being brought up from home, and then their own character. They went to the university, they graduated already, and see, with that one combined together, they are going to make good husbands and good fathers. Some parents are good fathers, but not good husbands. And some are good husbands and not good fathers. You have to make the two to balance. The same thing applies to women. Some are good mothers, but not good wives. And some are good wives, not good mothers. You have to balance the two. You have to balance the two. You have to learn how to cook. Either a man or a woman, learn how to cook. It's not to be buying food, You might find yourself in a situation where you'll be the only one to be cooking. What if your wife is sick? What if your wife is in the hospital? Maybe a C-section, going to have a baby, or a surgery, or something. Or maybe something happened to somebody, your wife have to travel there and go and stay there for a while. How are you going to do it? Or maybe your husband is, I've seen some cases that the husband is the one that is always cooking. You as a woman too, learn how to cook. If you didn't do it in your home, it's never too late. They trained you, train yourself. How are you going to train yourself? I am a Yoruba woman. I was brought up with Yoruba food. And Yoruba, we don't have so many soup. We have a way do begiri, this and that and that. When I started cooking Igbo soup, I went with a neighbor to the market. And the neighbor was saying, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jẹun. We went there and we ate. When we got there, I love the soup. I said, what is this soup? They said, oha and achi. I said, how do they make it? Can somebody give me a pen and a paper? And they gave me under bridge, Leko. I sat down there. People gathered. They were laughing at me. I didn't mind it. I wrote down. I wrote it down how to make oha and achi. I wrote it down how to make what is it called? Olugbu. and this thing, cocoyam. I wrote everything down. The following day, I made my first cooking. My neighbor was Igbo, but he understood Yoruba very well. Yeah, the wife understand a little bit, but the husband understood very well. So I went and cooked and gave both of them to go and to see if I did well. They said I didn't even cook it as if it was my first time. I can sit down and think. You have to learn how to be creative in every, excuse me, in every aspect. At times, I will say, oh, I don't want to go to the market to buy this. Let me see what we have in the house. And I don't want to cook regular food. I will just invent something that doesn't even have name. And it will be good. It will taste good. And the children will now be telling me, at times they will come and tell me, Mommy, you remember that thing you made that day? I can't remember anymore. You have to be creative. And you are the one that's always eba, amala, inya, eba, amala, inya, eba, amala, inya. What other things can you bring to table? I know we have some spouses too, especially we that have husbands that are around okay that love to eat iyan and a solid. Sometimes you make them to come to your level too and say, okay, try this thing out, try it. And they will try it and say, this is good too. Ah, this is good. This is nice. If you don't know how to cook, go and amend. Go and do it. Go and learn how to cook. And spouses that used to put too much salt in food, it's better not to be enough than to be too salty. It's not good health wise. And your spouse will not even enjoy your soup, will not enjoy your food. That is when you see the men going to buka, going to restaurant to eat before they go home. You are going home to eat, and your husband, your wife has cooked for you, and you go and branch in the corner to go and eat before you get home because you know that what you are going to meet at home is rubbish. You have to amend. I have seen, if I mention the person's name, people know him. They were both husband and wife. The wife was a multi-millionaire daughter because they didn't teach her how to cook. The mother-in-law was there and saying, oh yeah, because they had house help that was taking care of food. So they had to send the house help to go to the market. There was fish, there was pepper and everything. And the in-laws were in the living room. And the mother-in-law now said, ìyàwó mi, sáré ṣẹja yẹn kó gbé wá. Scaly fish. The fish that has scale. She did not remove the scale. She just dumped it in, no, all the gills and everything. She just dumped it into the stew and messed it up. When she cooked it, the stew, the scales, now, the thing was swelling up in this thing floating in the, She now called the mother-in-law and said, Mommy, I'm done. Come and see. That one said, hey, kilele, morogo. Say, this is my first time doing it. Say, you mean you have not cooked before? So you've been with your husband for like 5, 6 years? Who has been cooking? Say, your son. Say, Say, this is a shameful thing. In the presence of all the in-laws. You know what? We are still coming back to this. Oh yeah, do you have another thing in the freezer? Bring it out. Let us make something for them. They were able to make something and give those people. When they now left, she now called both husband and wife, say, I'm not running your home for you. You know how to run it yourself. But this thing, you can't give what you don't have. If your wife does not know how to cook, how is she going to train children? She has 2 girls and a boy, and 2 boys and a girl, sorry. How is she going to train the daughter? And the daughter was already maybe like 6 years or 5 years then, or 7. And that was how they started. They had to be teaching her. They told her, don't put nails, all these paparazzi nails. Go and remove them. That when your house help is cooking, go there stylishly and be watching. Get a paper and a pen. That was what the mom told her, the mother-in-law. Get a pen and a paper. When you get to your room, write things down. Go back there. Use your eye to scale through, to go through whatever she has put down. When she's not home, send her on errand some other day to where she will go for like 4 hours. Practice. Even if you make a mess, pour it in the trash. You have the money. And that was how that woman started. She was in her late 20s, oh, maybe 29, 28, 29 then. She had been married for like 5, 6 years. If she not up to 30, say, she couldn't cook. Yeah, she couldn't cook. Thank you so very much for watching. Somebody asked a question. He said, how do ladies whose husbands lives abroad manage sexual urge? Well, it's their ministry. They would have sat down and thought about it before going into it. If you cannot cope, don't go into it. Don't go and be messing up. That is it. That's my own advice. If you cannot cope, don't go and be messing up. Then how long is the man going for? How long is the wife going for? Maybe the wife is the one traveling or the husband traveling. How long? What are they going to do abroad? Schooling, opportunity, greener pasture. So what are the plans you are making for the other person to join you? Those are the things you have to put into consideration. Sit down, round the table, and talk about it. Yeah. So if you have any question, you are free to ask. And if you have any contribution, people have contributed. I have written some people's names down. I mean, I've read some people's questions and this thing. Nobody is useless. Yes, I say it. Train your children. We should train our children irrespective of their gender. Yes, man or woman. Train your children how to cook, how to do this, how to do that. At times the children can be lazy, they don't want to do, but try your best. When they get to their own private life, you will see that all those things that you think they did not know, all those things you thought they didn't see when you were doing it, they saw it. They were pretending not to do it because they didn't want to be helpful. But when they get on their own, they will even do more. They will even do more. That is it. Be transparent enough. Tell your wife, tell your spouse, let them. I know some spouses, when they know how much you make, they want to make sure they collect every dime from you. But try as much as possible and be transparent enough. If you cannot afford it, lagbaja, I can't afford it. Not that you should be stingy. No, I'm not saying you should be stingy. But at the same time, if you cannot afford something, let your spouse know, I'm sorry, I won't be able to afford this. That is it. Are you okpare? That is it. I hope we have learned one thing or the other in this one. Please, let us be helpful. Let us be helpful, irrespective of who brings more money to the table, irrespective of who stays home, who goes out, irrespective of who works, who doesn't work. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't work, be helpful. Even if you are working, be helpful. If you have any question, ask. Okay, a man supported her fiancé during university days and the lady married someone during her NYSC. What should the man do? Okay. Me, I will say the man should forgive and move on. That is it. If you have not married somebody, eh, don't overdo things. She has her own parents, right? Maybe the parents are not having enough and you want to get married to her, right? If you want to, because it's two things, oh, two things. If you are sending her to school because you want to marry her, you will end up most times enslaving her because you will believe she should live her life or she hold you alive. She hold you alive. No. So it's two things though. Marriage and sending to school. So if you are married, you are now sending her to school. I won't see that as a big deal. It's your responsibility because you are helping each other. If you make your spouse to be better than what he or she is, it is for the two of you. It is for the benefit of both of you. But when you are boyfriend and girlfriend, you are sending someone to school. You are not married to the person. Think twice about it and don't go above limits. Some people will say they went and borrowed money. Yes, I'm not saying it because I know some people will be genuine, right? And some will not be genuine. Because one thing I want you to understand is you are not yet married and you cannot decide the future. What if the person is not ordained wife or husband for you? And if you are sending somebody else's daughter to school, your own siblings, your mother, right? What did you do to help them? What have you done to help them? You can support your fiancé or your fiance. That is totally different from you shouldering all the responsibility. No, that is totally different. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that helps you while in school and say, okay, what if school fees? Let me now find 10,000. That is support. It's totally different from you taking up the responsibility. If the capacity is not there for the parents, what you need to do is let the person think twice. What can I do to fend for myself? That is the girl. I can say, okay, go and learn how to sew. Màá sanwó ẹ̀ síbẹ̀. By so doing, you have given the person a lifetime opportunity. The person will start, learning how to sew. From there, whatever she makes from there, let her use it to send herself to school. The same thing happens to man. We are not married. If we are married, I can go to any length. We are one. We are no more two. So whatever I do for you, I've done it for myself. If you now betray me, it is between you and God. God will judge the matter. It is left for you to search your conscience. That is it. But in my own case, so now my son will now stand up one day and say he want to send somebody else's daughter to school when they are not married. No. When they are married, or you can send her abroad. You can do anything. Because whatever you do, you are doing for the family, for both of you. But when the person is not yet married to you and you want to send the person to school, rò dáadáa, will you be able to cope when they serve you breakfast? And that is what happens because you will feel the person will be indebted to you that no, I own her. So she cannot talk to anybody, she cannot do this, she cannot have other relationships, no. You are both young. If God says he's your wife, what if you now pray and God says he's the wrong person? Unless you just want to help the person naturally on a free mode and there's no relationship, that's another case. But I want to marry you, we want to be husband and wife, where I will now send you to school. Says who? Say wetin happen. Think about it. That is my own opinion, which might be contrary to somebody else's opinion. You understand what I'm saying? So don't crucify me because of that. But my own opinion, ni mo sọ yẹn. My own opinion. Some men, when they help you, they support you in school, right? They will still be feeling as if they are the ones that sent you to school. Support last Sunday, you 5,000, 2,000. Why? It's fine. I'm fairer. And I can do the same thing for you. But not for you to shoulder all the responsibility. Wàá school, wàá raṣọ school, wàá sanwó school, wàá ṣe gbá, wàá gbé lọ school. You do this, you do that, you do. What is the duty of the parents? And tomorrow the same parent can stand up and say, lágbájá ò kì í ṣọkọ ẹ̀. Àwọn ò support. So what will you now do? You go back to the school and collect the money back. Abi you go back into her brain and remove all what she has left. No. So think about it very well. There are three things. Eh? One, when you are husband and wife, go to any length, is your spouse. You are not married, right? Boyfriend and girlfriend, you can support once in a while when you have, and you don't go and borrow and become a nuisance or steal because you want to satisfy her. No, that's the number two. Then number three, you just want to help the person. I'm not in a relationship with the person. I just want to help. In that case, in the future, if God says ọkọ àti ìyàwó ni yín, one thing will lead to the other, you end up marrying each other. But you didn't have ulterior motive when you started helping the person. So that's another case entirely. God will help us. Thank you so very much. Is there any other question? I believe I have answered some of the questions and I have mentioned some of the opinions you have given. I really thank you so very much for everything. I thank you. I have Adebowale, Aderomu, Tenibiaje, Oluwaseun Bolanle, Tamnokombia, and Ayo and Ade Ayelabola David. I will get back to you. I'm giving you some things, some giveaways anyway. Then I said you people should help me share and comment and like and this and that. Okay, if you have subscribed to the YouTube channel, please send your ID to El Nino. Send your ID to El Nino so we can confirm and get you your recharge card. Agbo kékeré ni wá, we are still small. We are aspiring to get bigger, wider, and larger in the future by God's grace. So please bear with us as we are now, right? It might not be all the time, it might not be every time, but whatever little thing we can do, we'll be doing. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. We love you. We want you to be on and on. So anytime we are doing now, I want to see if we can be using um our YouTube channel rather than Facebook. I want to see, or maybe we can use both. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but anytime I'm the only one doing, I'll be using both. But if I'm inviting somebody, I will see how we can do to mend both because I have to put two devices. I'm using one for YouTube and I'm using one for Facebook right now so that I can have both at the same time. So I really appreciate you. Abid Busi is still my name. My name, Olu Abi again is my name. Èmi náà ni. Thank you so very much. I am a mother and I am a wife. I've seen a lot of people coming into my DM. Please stop disrespecting me, right? I'm not your babe. I'm not your hey, you girl. Please stop disrespecting me. I don't like to disrespect people and I don't want to be disrespected at the same time. Don't send message to me by saying, hey babe, I'm not your babe. Oh. Please, I am a mother and I am a wife. I have told you several times, please don't disrespect me. I don't like that statement. I don't really fancy it, right? We are not friends. We don't have anything in common. You can't just slide into my DM and be calling me, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe. Or maybe I should send my number. Some people will just send number to me. I don't want your number. If you don't have my number, that means we are not close friends. And I cannot give everybody my number. You cannot be calling me. Some will even be calling me on video messenger in the middle of the night. That's disrespectful. We never had anything, we never talked, we never had anything in common. You just call somebody on video. Please, let us try and amend. Please, I'm begging you. Thank you so very much, Oluwabi of Thoughtful Event. Join us on YouTube. I said we have YouTube channel www.youtube/@Oluabi. Oluabi is a one word. Oluabi is a one word. So join us www.youtube/@Oluabi. Thank you. Next week is another day when we connect together. Thank you. God bless you. I really appreciate you. Good night.